Hi, hello, how are ya? Chef Kennedy here. Thanksgiving is one of the greatest holidays because it's all about eating and spending time with family. This year is a bit different, but don't let that stop you from indulging in a scrumptious harvest dinner. Today, I'll show you my Trader Joe's hacks for the perfect vegan Thanksgiving meal, and I'll put their turkeyless roast to the test. Let's gobble till we wobble, baby. Okay, so we're gonna start with our sourdough stuffing, followed by roasted Brussels, herbed crescent rolls, and cranberry butter. For the stuffing, we're gonna use this sourdough bread, and my family's tradition is we always break bread the night before and allow it to get stale overnight. Alternately, you can slice it into cubes and toast it in the oven. Once you have your bread all cubed up, you can place it on a sheet tray, place it in the oven at 375 for about 15 minutes until golden brown. Trader Joe's had this lovely little mix of herbs with sage, thyme, and rosemary, and that's perfect for this Thanksgiving feast. So we're going to take a tablespoon of minced rosemary, tablespoon of picked thyme, 1 tablespoon of minced sage. You can just stack the leaves together, then chiffonade it and give it a good chop. This is going to add so much flavor to this dish. Set that aside, and I also have this Mirepoix. You can of course chop your own veggies, but it's a great time saver. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil to a pot. Let that get nice and hot. Add in your Mirepoix. Cook it for 8 minutes on medium heat. Then we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of garlic minced, your herbs, 1 teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of pepper, half teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 tablespoon of nooch. Cook that for 2 minutes on medium heat. And once it comes off the stove, it is smelling so divine in here. Add in 2 cups of veggie stock, your cubed bread. Give that a nice mix. And then I like to roast this for about 15 minutes at 425. Time for a dance break. Okay, onto our Brussels sprouts. We're just gonna trim the very ends and then cut them in half. Once you have all of your Brussels cut, you can add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 3/4 teaspoons of salt, half teaspoon of black pepper, and mix it up. Add it to a sheet tray and place the Brussels cut side down. Throw this in the oven at 425 for 20 minutes. Once they come out, they're going to be perfectly roasted. Okay, for our herbed crescent rolls, we'll need to pick some rosemary, thyme, and the little baby leaves on the sage. Set that aside, and we're going to be using this can of crescent rolls. Pop that baby open up the sheets of dough, and place on your herbs in whatever artistic fashion you'd like. Then use a rolling pin and gently press them down, flip it over, and roll it up, baby. Place that onto a lined sheet tray with a little glisten of olive oil, and we're going to bake this at 350 for 12 minutes. Look how amazing. Onto our cranberry butter. We're going to be using Mirepoix here and this cranberry orange relish. Now just take a softened block of Mirepoix, add in 1/4 cup of cranberry relish, mix it up, and there you have an amazing compound cranberry butter. Okay, so here we have our Thanksgiving feast, and I'm so excited to give it a try. All right, first up are my favorite Brussels sprouts. Yum. People give a bad name to Brussels sprouts. That's because you're boiling your Brussels. You gotta roast them. So good. They're like perfectly crispy on the outside and super tender on the inside. Love it. All right, on to the stuffing. So True story, I used to hate stuffing. I think I've finally come to terms with it, but let's give this baby a try. That is like a Thanksgiving slap to your tongue. It's so good. I love the like little bit of heat. The herbs like really elevate it. And the sourdough, everything's really vibing for me. All right, on to this little herbed crescent roll. How precious, I love it. And of course, shout out to my girl Danielle, fellow chef. She came to my Thanksgiving dinner and made this because her family makes it for their Thanksgiving dinners. My family would not stop talking about this dang butter. So, let's give it a go, trying it together. Yum! That is so good! The herbs in there really elevated the product just like they did with the stuffing. So I say add fresh herbs whenever you can. It really just takes your dish to a whole nother level. And that cranberry butter against the herbs, so good. The butter is tart, a little sweet, a little salty, and everything you need for a roll. Okay, now on to the turkeyless roast. So it came with a little gravy, and I just cooked it according to the package. Time for a taste test. Okay. I think this is a great option. I would rate it maybe like an 8 out of 10, just because I'd like maybe a little bit more texture in the stuffing part, maybe some like chopped walnuts. And then the seitan part itself, I just feel like it needs a little bit more flavor. The gravy, I'm like actually pretty impressed with. I find myself to be a bit of a gravy connoisseur myself. It does remind me of like that old school like McCormick turkey gravy. So I think they nailed it pretty much on the head. I would just maybe add a little bit like mushroom powder or like tamari to just add a little bit more like rounded umami flavor. But overall, this is a great option. Thanks Trader Joe's for making this. So many people are gonna enjoy it this holiday season, so great option. Don't forget to like and subscribe. From my kitchen to yours. Happy Thanksgiving. Chef Kennedy out.